promise you, I've been sitting here. Okay, I haven't been sitting here since 5:30. It's probably been since like 5:32, trying to remember how do I go live? What button do I press? Forgetting I gotta press I'm gonna say this on my live now. I gotta press the plus sign and then go to the schedule. Thank y'all for your patience. Oh my gosh. Welcome back, guys. Had a little bit of technical difficulties, but that's all right. I appreciate y'all waiting on me. Ha, woosah, woosah. All right, let me make sure I got the camera straight. Okay, where's everybody coming in from? Y'all tell me where y'all coming in from. And again, thank y'all for waiting. So look, we started off the right way with having it in the right format, but this time I started too late. So we're gonna make it work. Where y'all coming from? Where everybody coming from? And I'm looking at the chat down here so I can read what y'all say. I really appreciate it. What's up, Corey? Thank you for waiting patiently. I love you, brother. Hey, Orange, I made it to your live finally. I love cooking your food. Hey, I appreciate that. Oh no, 9939. But what's your name? Tell me your name so I can shout it out. I appreciate you being here. Queen Alchemy, peace and love, I'm assuming. VA, we come from Virginia, North Carolina. Nice. Okay, so somebody in my neck of the woods. All right. I appreciate y'all being here. We're gonna have fun. Listen, I got a lot of comments already about what we're doing tonight. Nikki, nice to meet you, Nikki. Hey, Grandma. My grandma here, y'all. Grandma Christine, Alicia. Look, Grandma Alicia all in the background talking about who is Grandma Christine. Is that my cousin Jasmine? I can't tell, but if regardless of which Jasmine it is, DMV, what's up? Hey, beautiful. Hey, Sharon Sullivan, thank you for joining. Look, y'all right on time because I was late again. That means we have to do this at least one more time so I can be on time and not have any technical difficulties. So we started off in the right format, but I didn't start on time. But that's all right. We're going to make it work. Can y'all see me okay? I think the top of my head is clipped off, but that's okay. You can still see my eyes. You can still see the pan. You can see the cutting board. This is the most important. Let me make sure. Hey, girl, my sis loved your burgers. It's on my table every week. Oh, that's so... Man, that's so awesome to say. Now, I should say, if you guys see me going from here to here, I'm reading the chat. And if I'm looking straight this way, it's because I'm also recording this. I always record the lives so that way for people who miss them, they can see it. I usually post it that following Sunday. So if for some reason you can't stay the whole time, though I want you to, if you can't stay the whole time, I'll have the edited version with a lot of the gaps cut out so that way you can always come back to the recipe. So for those that don't know, if you didn't read the title, we're going to do a Thanksgiving edition of our bi-weekly or twice a week live. Today we're going to do a mac and no cheese, okay? I got to put emphasis on no cheese because we're not using any of the alternative cheeses, not using real cheese. It's dairy free. And I already had people in my comments. I had friends texting. My husband doesn't believe me because I said I prefer this kind of macaroni in comparison to regular macaroni and cheese. He don't believe me, and I had a reason for it. I'll tell you a little bit later. I had a reason for it. So let's get into how we make this, okay? So let me get my ingredients. If you look in the description, the ingredients should be in the description, the ingredients and the steps for the recipe. But if y'all have questions, throw them in the chat, and I'll be looking as we go, okay? So for those that don't know, this is a butternut squash, all right? And this is actually the base of the sauce. So what I usually do is I take this whole squash, I put it on a sheet pan, I put it in the oven, 400 degrees Fahrenheit, 430, 450, something above 400 for at least an hour. For something this big, probably an hour and a half. And what'll happen is, let me show you what happened. Okay? I'm off screen, but I'm coming right back. This is what happens. Look at this, right? That looks crazy. But what it is, it's the squash and it's been roasted. And if you look now, all that skin easily peels off. And this, once we take the skin off, we get to the flesh and that becomes the base of our sauce, okay? So the first thing I'm gonna do right off the bat, before we even peel the squash, I'm kind of getting excited because of the technical difficulties. Before we even peel the sauce, we're gonna have something going in the back. It's gonna be the noodles, okay? So, I got my pot here. I'm using regular macaroni. I know some people tell me they use like gluten-free macaroni. I've had some people say they use like chickpea or lentil macaroni, whatever macaroni is your vibe, you can use that. I'm using regular macaroni today. And so it's actually, I got this from my regular grocery store, okay? It's just your normal organic elbow macaroni, not jumbo, just regular size. So, oh Lord, what am I doing? Look, y'all, I'm tripping. I need to boil the water first. Let me slow down. Let me woosah. I'm so excited that I'm getting ahead of myself. That's what's happening. So I'm gonna put some water into this pan, okay? Don't worry, I'm coming back. Thank you for your patience. So I'm filling the pan with water. Now, I probably could have did that before I got on. But what I do is I do half water and half broth. And the broth that I use is actually, I use this Better Than Bouillon veggie broth or veggie bouillon paste. So there's no meat products at all in this. And what I do is I boil this water and then I put the paste in. And I like this because I don't have to then, like, if you buy the canned broth, you have to, once you open it, you have to finish it in like 7 days or it goes bad. I actually learned that from my dad. My dad uses that bouillon. I don't think it's that same brand, but he uses the paste. So if you ever watch his dad, thank you. So we're going to put this on the stove. We're going to go ahead and set this to boil. Alright. So another quick tip. If you want something to boil fast, put the top on the pot and then set the temperature, and that'll trap the steam so it boils faster. So for those that missed it, the butternut squash is the most important ingredient to get you a nice, it's going to give the color to the sauce, it's going to give the sauce body, especially if you're not using the alternative cheeses, okay? This is a way to make it very whole foods and plant-based. So that's the whole purpose of that. I guess I didn't really explain that. That the reason why I'm doing this is that I do follow a whole food plant-based diet. And all that means is I try my best to eat plant-based. So it's not just that I don't eat meat, it's that I use foods that are, whole foods, like one ingredient foods to make dishes and to make them easy and simple, but still flavorful, right? So anyway, so butternut squash, put this in the oven, 400 degrees Fahrenheit for about an hour, and then you'll end up with this bad boy, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the skin off. Alright? You're gonna take off the skin, and the thing about when you roast it in the oven and then you let it sit, you let it cool. So this is cool to the touch, it's not hot anymore. The skin just peels right off. Like, I can't even really pick it up because it'll fall apart. But I mean, I didn't have to chop the skin. I just roasted it and it's out very easily. Thank y'all for the comments. I promise I'm gonna come back to them as I get a good stopping point. Let me get to a point where we're cooking, and then I'll look back at some of the comments. So please keep putting stuff in the chat. That'll give me stuff to talk about a little bit, okay? So look, so now you end up with, didn't mean for that to happen. This is how soft it is. That's the squash. Now, growing up, the only squash I knew was yellow squash, and that was the kind my great grandma would make. And I actually couldn't stand it, but I told her I loved it. Because she didn't play. She was like, this is what I made. You either have this or you don't have nothing. So eventually I learned to like it. But with this squash, what you'll notice, there's a long part, and there's more of a bulbous part. That bulbous part has all of the seeds to the butternut squash. We don't want to necessarily have to deal with separating out the seeds from the meats or the flesh of the squash. So I'm just taking out the straight part and putting it right into this bowl. So what you could do later, so if you see, look, it looks crazy, I know, but that's the seeds. All that are the seeds, right? And then it's hard to separate the skin from that. So we're going to put this to the side. You could always separate the seeds out later and roast them, almost like you would pumpkin seeds, or even like if you make butternut squash bread, which I make. It's a recipe on my channel. You could put this on top for a nice decor. But we're going to save this for another recipe, not for today. So I'm going to put this to the side. Alright. So we got our squash, okay? We're going to get a fork. And honestly, you could just see it looks like, doesn't it look like sweet potatoes? And it kind of has a flavor that's similar to sweet potatoes. I've made this for a few clients before. Some of them were on. And they thought they were sweet potatoes, especially when you roast them. The other reason why I like to roast it in the oven is it brings out the sweetness of the squash on its own. And it deepens the flavor, makes it more complex. So these are the ways to make whole foods taste super, super good without having to add a whole bunch of spices or salt that cannot be as positive for you. So you don't have to mush it up a lot because we're going to use this in the blender soon. All right, so we're going to put our squash to the side. The other ingredient we're going to use for our sauce is going to be this coconut milk. Now, this is the brand that I use. So if you're not familiar with it, Thai Kitchen is my favorite brand, okay? Think about coconut milk. One, you want to shake it really, really good before you open it. I should say, if you joined in, thank you for the likes. Make sure you tell other people to come in and share so they can learn about this cool recipe. I appreciate you all for being here. Honestly, I do. This makes my day every time. So I already washed the can, okay? I shook it because that'll help the fat and the water combine back together, because when it's sitting in the pantry, they separate out. So if you only wanted to use the cream, they'll be separated. But we want to use all of the milk. So I'm shaking it pretty good so it can be all combined together. All right. So I'm gonna open this up. Is anybody actually cooking right now with me? Is there anybody cooking with me? Let me see. Good evening, Kimberly, Kelly. Good evening. I don't have any squash, but I'll be getting everything tomorrow to try it tomorrow. I love it. I love it. And there are ways to do this without the squash. I've seen people use potatoes or carrots. I've not tried that myself. I've actually seen, I think Tabitha Brown, a video I've seen her do back in the day. She did it with like potatoes. I think she did potatoes, carrots. I think she used squash too, but she also used a lot of the alternative cheeses. So, you know, you can, I'm sure there's other ways to do it. So don't feel like you have to do it with the squash. But this is my cheat code. Now my family, some of my family is on, they may or may not know this, but Thanksgiving last year I made a pasta. I did not call it macaroni cheese because I know if I had called it that, people would have been like, this ain't no cheese. So I just said, this is a pasta dish for Thanksgiving. You know, the way you market it is important. So I made that and they tore it up. My mom was mad because my mom eats plant-based and she was like, there wasn't enough for me to have for seconds. But I thought that was a good problem to have. All right. So what we're going to do now, I can hear the water starting to boil almost. We're going to take some of this squash. We're going to put it in a blender, okay? And the reason I'm doing this is because I just really want to make sure the squash gets nice and incorporated with the coconut milk. So I'm just going to put, I'll put about 1.5 cups. I'm eyeballing here because if it's too much squash, we can always add more milk. If it's too little milk, we can always add more. So, you know, you can't really mess it up. All right? So we're going to take our coconut milk. As you can see, it's very, very liquidy, right? And then we're going to just pour it right in there. Okay? So that's probably about 1/2 cup to 3/4 cup. And then before we blend it, we're going to add some seasoning. So here's my seasonings. This is my trio. I have my trio seasonings, and then I have some special seasonings. So my go-to seasonings, no matter what, okay, pretty much is always going to be something that I use. One, smoked paprika, okay? It's not spicy. It has a nice smokiness, hence the word smoke, to the dish. But back in the day, I only knew about it because it was like the stuff that my family would spray on top of the potato salad to put, you know, to add a little color to it. But it actually has good flavor. So smoked paprika, all right? Then I'm going to do a little bit of garlic powder, okay? And it's important to tell you guys, none of these are all-purpose seasoning. So it's really just one ingredient, which means there's no added salt in this. So I can be in control of my salt, which I think is really, really important. Actually, I was, this morning I was shopping at the grocery store. I was actually filming a video for YouTube. And I had my camera up. And a gentleman asked me, he was like, what do you get the camera for? And I told him, I have a channel. And me and him started talking about just ingredients and health. This is nutritional yeast. I forgot to say that. And I was telling him, yeah, one thing a lot of people don't realize is how much salt is in a lot of the spices that we use if we're using all-purpose spices. This is white pepper, okay? Just like regular black pepper, except it's white, so you won't see it, so it won't change the color of the sauce. And me and him were just talking about, that guy, we were talking about the importance of spices, how that's what adds the flavor to food when we're cooking it, not so much the meat. But it's funny. It's funny because when he came up to me, he was scared at first. He goes, he says, he's like, I saw you over there and I thought to myself, is she talking to the cilantro? Because I had my camera in one hand and I had the cilantro in the other while I'm shopping. And I'm just going like this. And he couldn't see the camera. And so he thought I was talking to the food. And I said, oh, no, this is the camera. He said, okay, I'm glad. He said, I thought I'm going to have to start shopping at another grocery store. It's like, man, people are crazy. He was like, she looks like she got hurt, like she's okay, but I'm pretty sure she's talking to the vegetables right now. Hilarious. All right, look. So the water is boiling. I'm gonna go ahead and pour my noodles into that water. So that's the water with the broth and a little bit of salt. Okay, so let's pour this in. And I'll be right back. Yeah, it looks good. You see how just putting the top on there made it boil that much faster. And I'm gonna stir it one quick time. So that should take, I think the package says we got to do it for, it says 7 minutes. So we'll do 6 minutes because we're gonna cook the rest of it in the sauce. All right, so we got our squash in here. We got our coconut milk. I added smoked paprika. I added onion powder. I added garlic powder. I added some nutritional yeast, which I didn't tell you. It can kind of gives kind of a cheesy-like taste to dishes. And it also gives more of a yellow color as well. Ooh, this is boiling. Let me take the top off. All right. Turn it down a little bit. That's like over boiling. So yeah, so the nutritional yeast is important because it adds a really specific flavor to the sauce, and it gives it a nice color too. It also has B12, which is important if you're not eating any meat, because you can only get B12 from animal products. All right, so let's blend this. Okay. So bring my base right here. Try to get this on this cutting board. All right. We're gonna blend it, see what it's looking like. Hopefully it's not too loud when I blend this. Is that loud? And like I said, it's already pretty soft, so really what I'm looking for is to make sure that the sauce and the coconut milk are combining together. And it's okay if it's thick, because we can always thin it out. We're actually going to thin it out with the little trick I have. I'm going to show you. So it looks almost like baby food. That's what it reminds me of. Like, you know when you go down the Gerber aisle? It's been a while. My daughter's 7, so I don't really remember what this is like. But like, just imagine someone being like, "Here, you want to taste some?" Like, no, thank you. All right. Now, one thing I didn't add to this, if you notice, was salt. Oh man, that's good. That's perfect. So you see that color? This is going to be the base of our sauce. It's nice and creamy. We're going to thin it out, but that's what's giving us the base of our sauce. Okay. All right. So blender done. Hopefully that's enough. I can always do more, but I'm gonna just do this little bit here, okay? So that actually was the hardest part in my opinion. And look, and you can see I have a ton more left, so you can do all of this. I'm not using all of it today just so it can make it easier for us to cook it. So I'm gonna put this to the side, all right? Let me see what questions y'all have and take a little water break. What kind of noodles are those? So those are, is that my mom? Hey, mommy! I'm so happy you're here. Sorry, guys. I got to shout out my mom. My mama is the best. I love you, mommy. So those are regular macaroni elbow noodles, mom. But I was telling people, you can get whatever kind of noodles you like. I know someone messaged me in the emails, in our email list. If you're not on the email list, make sure you join that. I have a link in the description. They told me they like to use not gluten-free. I want to say it was, I think it was gluten-free, but they also mentioned Jovial was their favorite brand. My favorite brand of gluten-free pasta is actually Rummo. It's RUMMO. I love that. I actually use that when I cook for Tabitha Brown. I use that for the gluten-free rigatoni, and I could not tell that it was gluten-free. Because some gluten-free tastes gluten-free. You know what I mean? Like it tastes like you know. And you gotta be careful with gluten-free because if you cook it past al dente, it starts to fall apart and get really gummy. So it's very. I don't think you can. In my opinion, I don't think you should cook the pasta unless you're going to use it that day because it doesn't tend to warm as well the next day. But you can also use like a protein pasta, a spelt pasta, whatever your preference is. But I'm using regular macaroni noodles, okay? And they're not the jumbo, they're the regular size. All right, I'm actually going to test them, check them real quick, make sure we're still in a good spot because they cook so fast since they're small. And I don't want them to stick to the bottom. I think we're almost there. And I can't wait to show you the trick that I have for the macaroni noodles. You'll see, it's gonna go with the sauce. All right, while that's building, let's build the rest of our sauce, all right? So in the description or in the recipe, I said a yellow onion and garlic. So these are just garlic cloves, okay? What's up, baby? Yeah, she can watch something on the TV. You want to come say hi? Mima's on here. Say hi.
Hi, Mima. I can't see her.
You can't see her, no. So they can see you. And she can see you.
Well, if you're there, hi.
Yeah. All right, go ahead. You can watch the show. You finished your homework?
Yeah.
All right, good job. All right, so I got two different types of onions for myself. I have this shallot. The reason I like shallots is that they are like a cross between a yellow onion and garlic. So if for some reason you're like, I don't want to cut a whole bunch, get a shallot because it'll give you both the oniony vibe and the garlicky vibe. I'm going to do both though because I'm extra. I'm going to cut this whole shallot and I'm going to cut maybe like a sliver of the yellow onion because you don't want to actually taste, or you don't want to like get bites of the onion because, you know, it's macaroni. We don't want to like be chewing on onion, but the onion is going to add incredible flavor. Mima says, hello, beautiful.
Wait, you can hear her.
So she's writing to me. I can see what she writes on the screen, baby. Let me see what y'all saying. I love Rumo and Banza pasta. Yes, who's that? Hope? Yes, Hope. The Banza, I don't know about Banza. I'm gonna be real. I don't like Banza pasta. I've tried it. So tell me what kind of you get, Hope, because the kind that I'm getting, I must not be getting the right kind. I tried the chickpea one. I think I tried the lentil one, and I'm down for trying most things because I'm really big on like I'm trying to change my life and be consistent with this. But Banza, no matter what, I'm always so disappointed. I'm always like, ugh. Like I could tell I'm eating a healthier pasta. You know what I mean? And like that's fine when it's just me, but if I'm cooking for someone, it's gonna be hard to sell them like, no. I know the pasta don't taste good, but it's healthy for you. Speaking of which, let's go back to what I was hinting at earlier today, all right? Or earlier in this live. So I got a few text messages, you know, from friends that I love. They might even be watching right now, and if they are, you know who you are, okay? But and my husband, I don't know if you can hear me. He's somewhere in this house. I come home and I was telling him, I was like, I prefer this kind of macaroni to the macaroni with dairy. And he wouldn't even let me explain. He just goes, I don't want to hear that. Oh, there's no way. I said, can I tell you why? Can I say why? He's like, no, there's no way. And then before I got on, he goes, please don't tell those people, your followers, that, wait, is Daddy down here, Lily? No. Okay, he's not down here. He said something like, please don't tell your followers don't tell them that story that you love this kind of macaroni better than macaroni with cheese. And I didn't say I love it better. I said, and if you if you go to my Instagram and you go to my TikTok, okay, it's under Chef Shayla MD. What did she say? I said what I said. Oh my gosh, y'all gonna be through with me. What I said was I prefer this to the other kind of macaroni and cheese. And what I mean by that is when I eat macaroni and cheese that has dairy in it, on the way down,
It's up to 13.
What?
13.
Okay, but if it's too loud, I'm gonna tell you to turn it down.
To 11.
Actually, put the remote here, so that way if it's loud, I can turn it down. Thank you.
I just still want to hear.
Where was I? I don't forget what I said. What was I talking about? What was I talking about? What? He's on the chat. Is Ralph on the chat? Wait a minute. Is he trying to? Wait, she's internal medicine. Oh, my baby's on the chat. Well, I'm talking about you, babe. You can try to defend your pasta. Thank you for the reminder. You can try to defend yourself, Ralph, but I'm gonna tell the truth. So what I mean by I prefer, because listen, I'm not trying to say that you can recreate cheese. You can't. Like, cheese is cheese, just like meat is meat. What I'm saying is that I prefer, hold on guys. We're going to overcook our pasta. All right, our pasta's done. Yeah, our pasta's done. Hold on, let me do this real quick and then I'll tell you. I promise, I'll tell you. Let me just do this first, okay? So what we're going to do, we're going to do a couple things, all right? Because this is actually really, really important. Oh, it's okay, babe. You can talk. So, I'm going to... I take this is my pasta. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and pour some of the pasta water into this bowl, and I'll show you why in a bit. But I'm basically separating out all that water. There we go. Like that. Okay. We're gonna put this water to the side. We're gonna use this for the sauce later. Okay. And then I'm gonna put the cooked pasta. Put my cooked pasta in here. This is actually a really important step. I learned this step from my mommy. If she's still on. Are you still on, Mom? Miss Arlena? So you season. Oh, this is so loud. Sorry, guys. So you gotta season every part of your dish, okay? So with our macaroni, a couple things we're gonna do. I'm gonna add in. I have some vegan butter here. I'm gonna put that on there, and I'll show you what brand I use. I use this Miyoko's brand. It's one of my favorite. It's really good. So put some of that in. I have a little bit of onion powder, just a little bit. It's gonna give it a nice umami kind of vibe. Not too much because you don't want your macaroni to taste like onions. A little bit of this nutritional yeast, just like what we did before. Just a little, maybe about a tablespoon. Okay. A little bit of garlic. Okay. Probably about, I say a teaspoon. Depends on how much you like garlic. I love garlic, so I add more usually. Just a swirl or two of olive oil. And then this is actually sea salt. I do 2 fairly big pinches of salt. Okay? The reason, a lot of this is going to be diluted when we add it to the sauce, okay? Now we're going to stir this up. And it's going to, first off, the oil being there is going to stop all the noodles from sticking. It's important to do this while it's hot so that it incorporates really well. And the thing is, if your noodles don't taste good here, they're not going to taste good when you add them to the sauce. And that's even more important, in my opinion, when you don't have the benefit of cheese, because cheese makes a lot of things taste good. We know that. That's why pizza tastes good. You know, back in the day, when my only way of eating broccoli was dipping the broccoli in the cheese. I used to go to this restaurant called Ryan's, and my favorite way of eating broccoli was to dip it in cheese. Oh, one thing I forgot to add. Smoked paprika. Remember I said that I always do this? So I'm going to add some of that smoked paprika in there. I'm going to turn down this one because this is going to make the roux. We don't want it too hot. Well, you're going to have to watch it somewhere else, baby, because I'm talking to the people. They have to know I'm trying to teach them right now. So now I'm going to stir that all in. Okay? And it smells so good. It looks beautiful. So now we know every bite's going to have flavor. So that's how it's looking. Without any sauce, it's already, look at the steam. It's hot. This is how much I love y'all. I'm willing to hold this hot bowl. I'm having so much fun. I hope y'all are having fun. This is a vibe. All right, so we're gonna put this to the side. All right, so let's finish talking. So about the macaroni, that's where we were left off at. So I said I prefer it. Why? Because when I eat regular macaroni with cheese, the beginning it tastes good. I'm not gonna lie. Cheese tastes good. I didn't stop eating cheese because I didn't think it tasted good. I stopped eating cheese because it doesn't feel good what it does to my body after. And my husband said, well, it don't do nothing to me. And I said, well, I'm happy for you. But it does something to me. You know, I don't feel good after I eat anything with dairy. Almost, especially now, I notice it more now. Back in the day when I ate meat, when I used to eat meat more frequently, now it's pretty much 0%, but you know, that's been a steady progress for me to get to that. But before, when I would eat stuff like that, I didn't notice that I wasn't feeling good. Does that make sense? Like, I just thought, oh, I'm a little tired, or, well, yeah, you know, I had a big meal, like, I just need to rest. But I've noticed, so when I first started transitioning to more plant-based, and, you know, maybe I would go to someone's house and they had something, and I would taste it, almost immediately, I could feel the difference. Like, I get bloated, my stomach will bloat, and I would feel like, you know, some GI upset, like maybe I need to go somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't mind talking about this because I'm a doctor and we have to talk about bowel movements, but you probably don't want to talk about that while we're talking about food, so I'm not going to go into too many details. But my whole point being, for me, I notice a difference. So when I say I prefer it, it's like there's this, I think there's this verse in the Bible where it talks about temptation and how, maybe it was a pastor that said it. He's like, you have to recognize that with every choice you make, there's a consequence attached to it. But you can't see the consequence. All you see is that thing in front of you. And so for me, that macaroni and cheese on the front, it looks good. But the thing that's attached to it, it's not good for me. So that's why I don't prefer it. But this macaroni and cheese, or this macaroni and no cheese, how it looks, how it tastes is good. And the thing that's attached to it is energy. I feel vibrant. It's fun. I feel creative. And I'm not missing out. So that's why I say I prefer it. Now, I'm not foolish. I'm not going to sit up here and tell you, this is going to taste just like my grandma's mac and cheese from back. It doesn't taste just like it because I'm not making cheese. I'm just being real. I know some people will disagree with me and say, oh, this tastes just as good as macaroni. You know, that might be true for some people, but not for me. It's not true. Like my mom can make some, well, I don't know if she makes it anymore because she's plant-based, but back in the day, I love my mama's macaroni and cheese. Like, that was my favorite part of Thanksgiving, was her making some macaroni and cheese. But like I said, at the end of the night, it wasn't so good. All right, I'm not going to go into that no more. Am I the only one that's like that? Is anybody else feeling me in the chat? Yes, fun and creative queen alchemy. Okay, I am making this Saturday on my Vibrations on Plate series. Oh, and shouting you out. I was looking for a recipe for mac and uncheese. I like that, mac and uncheese. I appreciate it. Question, can I replace coconut milk with tofu? You sure can, Hope. You sure can. So honestly, I make a lot of pasta sauces with tofu. I would say if you do it with tofu, use silken tofu because it'll make it more creamy. You can use the other types of tofu, like the other textures, but it'll be easier for you with silken tofu. Absolutely. And it'll taste really good. And then you can always thin it out with pasta water. And you'll see here, I have I'll be using soy milk as well. So there's other ways you can make it creamy without relying on the coconut milk. So that's a great question. You can even just do this with water. You don't have to use the coconut milk, but I prefer that with how I make it. I'm just chopping up the garlic now, okay? So I want to chop all these aromatics up first because this part is going to go fast, right? And if I'm trying to chop when I'm doing this, I'm going to burn it. And then y'all not going to believe that I know what I'm doing. And you're not gonna try to do this at home. Oh, any questions so far? What I'm talking about? I used to have milkshakes in the evening so I could sleep through the discomfort, and in the morning I would just go to the bathroom and it would be over. Adenoid. I get it. So you do it at night, so that way you could just sleep through the discomfort. But isn't that something? The things we're willing to do to have what we think we need. I get it. I talk to my husband a lot because my stronghold, the thing that I struggle with is sweets. Like a lot of people, they're surprised to hear me say that because they're like, "Well, you cook plant-based and this and that." And I'm like, "Yeah, no, I cook plant-based. It's true." But I struggle with sweets. I struggle mightily with sweets. Because I'm like, oh, they taste so good, but they don't do nothing good for me after I eat them. I would literally, so the guy that I saw in the grocery store, me and him we chatted for a good 30 minutes, y'all. It's crazy. I was supposed to be in there for an hour. I ended up being in the grocery store for an hour and a half, and 30 of those minutes was talking to Mr. Jeff. Mr. Jeff, if somehow you're on this live or you see it, shout out to you. But Mr. Jeff, me and him were chatting, and I was telling him the struggle with sweets or with anything processed. Honestly, the difference between eating something like this, whether it's macaroni and cheese, whether it's ice cream, whether it's cookies, is that when you eat something like this, you can tell your body is saying, okay, I'm full, because it's like the natural taste of food. But the problem with packaged food or processed food, what I mean by that is it's not just a simple ingredient. Something had to be added. Is that they literally have a whole science in place to make this food taste amazing, and not just taste amazing, but make you want more, make us want more. So when I reach for that cookie, the problem isn't just that I'm eating one cookie. The problem is after I eat that one cookie, I'm like, man, let me get another one. And then when I eat the other one, I'm like, man, let me get two more. I'm gonna walk away. I get two more. Now it's nighttime. My family's upstairs. I was like, oh man, there's still three. Let me just finish the whole sleeve. all of a sudden you wake up, you look up, and you're like, how did I eat a whole sleeve and a half of Oreos? Or how did I finish that whole pack of sugar cookies? Or how did I eat half of a carton of ice cream? Is you can't. It's like it activates your dopamine system. It's hard to do the same thing with apples. Apples, when my tongue has been reset, and I taste like a nice Honey Crisp apple or a Granny Smith, I go in, I taste it. It's so good. But when I finish it, I'm not going, I need one more apple. I need just 2 more apples. So if you take out apple and just think about what I'm saying, one sounds like an addiction and the other sounds like freedom. And for me, I really believe that's what it is. Like, I really, really believe that. At the end of the day, I think that's a big part of it, honestly. You know, every person is different, but for me, I'm really, like, I'm being honest with y'all right now. Seriously, like, I struggle with that because there's a part of me that wishes, oh, but there's nothing wrong with having sweets. And I don't think there's anything wrong with having sweets, but the problem is when the sweets have you. When you can't say no, that's the issue. That means that it's controlling you. And that's where I'm at. So I gotta say no to sweets. I'm trying to stick with eating more whole fruits like apples, things that are low in glycemic index, so that means more fiber, less sugar. Apples, berries, strawberries, blueberries. I'll do dates, which I love, because it's harder to overeat them, but they have a nice sweetness. Anyways, I'm getting off topic, so take that as you will. All right, so let's get to this, because we're almost done, believe it or not. So now this is the quick part, all right? We're gonna make our roux. So this is olive oil. This is one of my favorite brands. It's actually Graza. You don't have to use this. You can use whatever olive oil you have. Oh, in fact, wait. Let me show you guys this olive oil that I started using from this brand. They sent this to me, actually. It's Flor de Jar. I'm probably saying it. Flor de la Jara. It's Spanish, I want to say. Flor de la Jara. I'm probably butchering it. Let's use this one. Because I've used... I usually use that one, but I want to use this one because I've used this a few times. And it smells good. And my husband doesn't think that I can tell the difference, but I can tell the difference. Let me take a water break, y'all. I'm talking too much. You about to say something to me? My husband over inside, standing there like this. Huh? Huh? Flor de la Jara?
I don't.
You don't want to say nothing? All right. Okay. Is she in North Carolina? Is who in North Carolina? Queen Alchemy? I love Pink Lady Apples. Yep, I love Pink Lady Apples. She shops at Food Lion, Harris Teeter, Whole Foods, Sprouts, as far as I know. That's right, babe. You did a good job. Yes, I'm in North Carolina. I'm assuming that's what she meant. I'm in North Carolina. Sharon, yummy. Queen, I really believe that I'm in the right place today because definitely overeating is definitely an addiction. And I've been talking about food addiction and my journey through it. Yeah, I agree. You know, I know some people it's not like that. Like my husband, he doesn't have that issue. He can be in a room full of cookies, cracker, everything, and be like, nope, I said I'm only going to have one. I'm just going to have one. I can't stand it. I can't stand it. Like, how you have that much self-control? All right. Okay, so we got this olive oil in. So what we're going to do, I'm just tell you, we're going to saute the onion. So we're going to do the yellow onion and the shallot. Then we're going to go with the garlic and the butter. You'll see. I promise. So let's go ahead and put the onions in. You should hear a sizzle. That means the oil is hot enough. Okay. We're going to put just a pinch of salt. And what that does is it helps sweat out the onions so that more of the water can be released. Just saute this. And your heat should be like on a very low heat. Right? So I'm actually turning it down because I don't want it to be this strong. Because when you're making a roux, you don't want the onions to start to change in color. You want them to keep like that white, color until they become see-through. Then that's when you know they're soft enough. If the heat is too high, they'll start to caramelize and get brown, and then the color of your sauce for your macaroni won't be what you want. So we want to go nice and slow. If you know, then you know. All right, I'm having too much fun. Let's see. Oh man, I've been yapping. It's 6:17, y'all. Y'all didn't tell me I was talking this much. That means I'm getting too comfortable. All right, we're gonna put the shallots in now. Right in there. And like I said, you don't feel like you have to do both these. This is just me because I like the flavor of both. You can just do yellow onions alone, or you could do this. You could do yellow onions with the garlic, or shallots by themselves. Just a little bit. Turn up just a little bit, baby. I don't want to hear the movie while I'm trying to talk to everyone, okay? All right. And this is true how you make, this is how I make roux. The onion and the garlic, once you put it in, gives a nice flavor to the sauce. And so when you chop it up really small like this, the onions and the garlic will dissolve into the sauce. Whereas if you chop it up too big, you'll get chunks of onion, which you don't want for a sauce. Now, if this was like a stew or a soup, then you probably want those bigger chunks of onions. Maybe, I don't know, maybe not. But definitely not in a sauce like this. And especially if you're making it for people who are not used to eating like this. So when I did this for my family last year, I was very careful not to call this macaroni and cheese. I don't know if you remember that, Mom, if you're still on. I did not call this macaroni and cheese. I said, I'm making pasta. We have a Wegmans. It is far from me, so I don't go often. Okay, at Naloy. You preaching, just say, yeah. Dr. V, what's up, Dr. V? Listen, I'm trying to keep myself accountable. You know Dr. V. It's a lifestyle. Dr. V knows. If y'all don't know, follow Dr. V. She keeps it real. And she is a big reason why I'm doing what I do now. So shout out to you, Dr. V. Let's see. Let's see what I missed. Do you guys have a Wegmans? I have discovered that in the Asian market, and they're my favorite places. Ralph. I don't know if Ralph is going to answer anymore. He keeps coming up and down the stairs. But I don't know if we have a Wegmans. I guess somebody was answering that. We do have a Wegmans as far as I have never been to one. But we do have a Asian market. It's called G-Mart. I love that place. I used to get my mushrooms from there, and before I started going to the mushroom farm. The mushroom farm that I go to is closed. Well, it's not closed. They don't sell mushrooms anymore. They only do the spices, and I want to say the medicinal version of mushroom. It's called sprinkles. They were phenomenal. They were in High Point. Phenomenal. So I'm in need of a new mushroom farm. So if you guys got recommendations, let me know in the chat or join the email list. And when I send out the next newsletter, reply to it and let me know. Because I need new mushrooms. I love cooking. Me too, Queen Alchemy. I'm supposed to be cooking, but I'm here watching her cook. Add the Lord. You know what? I love watching people cook. If there was a way for you to watch someone cook online, and then like you snap or you press a button and whatever food they made just delivered came to your door, what? That's the next step. That would be amazing. It's so funny though, because when I think back as a kid, I used to watch a ton of cooking shows on Food Network, and especially Rachel Ray, which is a big inspiration for how I do my lives. I used to love watching her 30-minute meals, and I remember thinking, I can't make any of that. Like, I don't have those types of ingredients. So it really brings me joy that I get to do this, a plant-based version that uses non-specialty ingredients. I think that's important because a lot of people, they tell me eating plant-based is expensive because, you know, it costs so much money to get all these, like, to get the ingredients. And I was asking people, like, what kind of ingredients? And one of the main answers I get is, oh, you know, like Beyond Burger or Impossible. And my whole thing is, we don't have to eat like that to eat plant-based. If that's what you want to do, you know, kudos to you. But you can eat whole foods. Whole foods don't have to be expensive. And even if you say, well, produce is expensive, you don't have to get fresh produce. We can use frozen produce, right? So there's always a way to make it work, in my opinion, and from what I've experienced for myself. So I just added the garlic in there. I don't know if you guys saw that. How do you know when you should go to the next step? When you're starting to smell amazingness in your house. So a friend taught me that in medical school. She was like, if you want people to think you know how to cook, saute some onions and garlics and your house will smell amazing when they come in. Now, as far as it tasting good, she didn't give me advice on that. I had to learn that the hard way. But you should smell, like right now it smells so good. And the thing about garlic, once you add it, even on a low temperature, it can burn really fast. So I would say maybe 30 seconds of us sauteing the garlic. We're going to go to the next step. So the next step is actually going to be twofold. So I'm going to add, this is that vegan butter that I talked about. So I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of that in there to give us a little bit more oil before we go to our next step. Because we're going to add the flour first as a thickening agent to make the roux. So I'm just using this butter to kind of melt a little bit more to give us a little bit of oil before we add that flour in. I'm going to turn my heat up just a tad to make sure it melts all the way before I add in my flour. And then we'll whisk that in. And while we wait for that to melt, let me see. Sharon saying hi to Ralph. Asian markets usually have unique mushrooms. Your local mushroom supplier may have them again since they are seasonal in North Carolina. Dwayne. Yeah, no, Dwayne, so I talked with him. He basically was telling me that he's not selling mushrooms anymore. They're going a different direction. But I agree with you. Asian markets, they tend to have more of the more fancy special kind of mushrooms that you don't usually see in your regular grocery store. But even that honestly has stopped people. So I'm actually doing a video for next week, not this upcoming Sunday, but I think next week, where I share with people, you don't even have to use those specialty mushrooms. You can use regular white button mushrooms. Those are the ones I grew up on, the regular white button ones, and still make phenomenal food, because it's really not so much the mushroom, but how you cook it. So it's like anything. If you have an amazing specialty ingredient, but you don't know how to use it right, it's not gonna taste good. Someone who knows, like, to me, what's really good cooking is when you can take something simple and make it taste phenomenal, without a whole bunch of complicated moves, right? So that's what I'm learning to love to do. All right, so when you use, this is how it should look. You see how it's kind of foaming up that butter? I'm showing the people on YouTube, y'all. So when it's foaming like that, that's how you know it's time to add the flour. Now I have a lot of flour here. I'm not using all this flour. I would say start off with maybe 2 to 3 tablespoons. And what you'll do is you'll get a whisk. Where's my whisk? And you're just gonna whisk. The reason why you're doing this, okay, I should say, because I hate when people tell me to do something and I don't say why. You're cooking off some of the rawness of the flour before you add the rest of your liquids to make the sauce. So it makes it easier for the flour to be incorporated into the sauce. So what I'm looking for, I don't want the flour to get brown. You know, it should not look like this after I'm done. It should be almost a nice beige color. So you're just slightly cooking it. And the reason why I'm using the whisk, this helps you make sure that it doesn't stick to the pan. So it should look something like that, right? Like nice little beautiful crumbs. Almost like breadcrumbs, honestly. Once you get to this point, which we're at, we're gonna get 2 liquids. We're gonna get our milk, your milk of choice, your plant-based milk of choice. I'm using soy milk. You can use almond milk. You can use oat milk. Oat milk is a lot creamier than almond milk. And we're gonna use our pasta water. Okay. Let's make sure we're safe. And while you have the whisk, actually, I'm not gonna do it with my left hand because I'm right-handed. While you have the whisk, you're gonna whisk in your soy milk or your milk of choice. I'm gonna do about, I don't know. That's probably a cup, maybe half a cup, just enough to cover the base of the pot, and then just whisk until you start to break up those flour parts. And again, you're keeping your heat on like a low. So my heat right now is like on a medium low. So you shouldn't be seeing bubbles and things like that. If you're seeing bubbles, your heat is too high. You're going to start to burn your milk and burn your flour and mess up your roux. So this part, it takes time because you got to be patient. And you have to make sure all your ingredients are ready. So you'll see it's starting to thicken up. This is how you make a gravy too. So it's thickening up. So we're going to add a little bit more milk. Just one more splash of this milk. And then we'll go for the pasta water from there, okay? Alright, so we're doing this. That. Okay. And I'm just being careful because I don't want to go too fast and I splash all the milk everywhere. Like this. Has anyone ever done this before? Made their own roux? I'm sure someone's made their own roux. But has anyone made their own roux for macaroni like this before? Am I the only one? And also, while I have y'all, we gotta come up with a name for us, right? Because I hopefully all y'all are on the email list. If you're not on the email list, you gotta get on the email list. It's in the description. When you get my 7 free plant-based recipes, it'll put you on my email list. But I'm trying to figure out a name for this community. Like when I email y'all, what should I call y'all? What should we call each other? Some people mention cooking with Shayla's crew or something like that. I don't know. I'm open to suggestions. So you can see how you know that it's a good consistency is if you put your cooking utensil and you slide it down and you see how I'm able to see a streak and it slowly comes back. That's a good thickness, right? We haven't added any seasoning yet because we don't know. We want to make sure that the thickness is where we want it. Now we're going to take some of this pasta water. Now the pasta water has a little color to it because we use that broth, remember? The reason why this is important to note, the pasta water has a couple things for us. It has the starch from the pasta. So this will actually, the water will thin out this sauce, but the starch will actually keep it thick when we add the butter and squash part. And then it also has flavor. Remember, we already added broth and salt. So this will minimize how much more salt we need to add. So I'm going to add about half a cup. I always say go low and slow because you can't, it's harder to take away the liquid than if you pour too much. So it's better to add a little bit at a time. We'll whisk, whisk, whisk. And what I'm looking for is almost like a, I want to say almost like a pancake batter consistency, right? Like this, honestly, what I'm seeing right now. So now if I take that same spoon and I try to go down, that water, the liquid is coming back to take over that spot very quickly. That's what I want now. And the reason for that is we're going to add that butternut squash into it. So let's get that there. All right. That there. So now I'm going to take my squash sauce and I'm just going to pour it right in there. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Y'all seeing my true colors. It's because I'm comfortable because I'm in my house. My daughter's watching a show. I'm just having a good time. I hope y'all are having a good time too. This is fun. All right. So I try to get most of that. I might need to get a spatula to get more. Let me get this spatula over here. Because I'm going to get all of this. Right? I don't want any of it left. This is all going to be flavor and color. Right? So, this, there, and look, there's some in here too, okay? My mother-in-law taught me that. Like, don't forget about the top. We're not wasting nothing. We put all this work into this. We're going to make sure we get all the work we put in. Okay. All right. All right. Y'all let me know if y'all have any questions, okay? I'll be looking at the chat here in a bit. Is that Dwayne? Dwayne, you're very observant. I agree. It almost matches my hair. Did it on purpose. All right. So we're going to just whisk the sauce, the butternut squash paste, into the sauce until it gets nice and incorporated. Okay. And like I said, it's always better for it to be too thick than too thin. Because if it's too thick, we can always thin it out with more pasta water. Or with more milk, depending on which you prefer. So look, it's already taken over. You can't even see the white anymore, right? Now, if you came into this live and you didn't see anything from the beginning, and you just saw me stirring this, and I said, I'm making macaroni, you wouldn't even know this is butternut squash sauce. Look at this. Look at that color. Is that not beautiful? Ooh, it's heavy. Ooh. Ooh, if I had spilled that, I'd have been so sad. So now what we gotta do is just make sure the flavor is there, okay? Now, honestly, how hard did that seem for y'all? Am I tripping? Is that a very hard thing? Is that something you think you could do, or this is a little too much? And mind you, this is for Thanksgiving. I'm not saying this is like a weeknight thing. Right, I'm gonna give it a taste. Okay. Let me tell you what I'm tasting. I taste the squash. It's still very thick, so I'm not tasting as much as the cream. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to add some of the broth or the pasta sauce. I'm going to add some more of that all the seasons we have. So I'm going to add some of the garlic powder. I'm very heavy-handed when it comes to spices. I think it's important to note, again, there's no salt in any of these. Excuse me. Which is critical. So then you're seasoning to what works for you and your family, or you if you're cooking for yourself. So I'm adding all of them. I'm adding the onion powder, the garlic powder, the smoked paprika. Because when we add more liquid, we're diluting the flavor. That's why I'm doing this. And a little bit more of the nutritional yeast. And then pinch of salt. We'll start there. Let's see where we go from there. And remember, the pasta is already seasoned, okay? So every part has its own seasoning. But this is the art of cooking. Because, when you follow recipes, depending on how thick or thin you made your sauce, you might need a little less spices, a little more salt, a little more water. You got to taste as you go. That's the art of cooking. I think this is why for some people cooking can be hard. I know for me, this is why cooking felt hard because I wasn't sure, like, well, what if it doesn't come out like it did for them? It might not. You got to figure out what your lane is, right? So don't let that intimidate you. All right, let me get my spoon. Rinse off my spoon here.
Mama.
Oh, you dancing? What movie is that, Lily? Dracula? No, Transylvania. Okay. Let's see where we are.
Vacation.
Wait. Let me see one more time. No, I'm missing something. I know what I'm missing. I almost missed a vital. If my mom is still on, I almost missed a vital ingredient. Y'all, this is what I'm missing. I'm like, it's missing something. So look, I didn't follow my own recipe. Oh my gosh. See, look, this everybody makes mistakes. It's the mustard. So this is actually Dijon mustard. Back in the day, my mommy used yellow mustard. I've also used stone ground mustard. But the mustard adds like this nice, how do I say, like this nice tanginess, and also adds a little creaminess to it too. But I'm tasting like I'm missing something. Now normally, I don't add it here. I add it at the part when I make the roux because it's easier to combine. It almost emulsifies the sauce. I was like, man, but it's missing that, like, you know, that kind of, you know what I mean? Does anybody know what I mean? I'm not the only one. Yes, taste it always. No, does anyone else not put mustard or mustard powder in their macaroni when they're making it? Come on, y'all, don't leave me hanging. It's gotta be one person. All these people on here watching. Nobody else puts mustard on. I'm the only one. I can't believe that. All right, grow as I grow. Yes, ground mustard. Yes, I agree, ground mustard. But if you don't have ground mustard, this kind of mustard works well too. And I think I'm going to add one more pinch of salt. 2 mini pinches of salt. Okay, let's see. And you want to see the consistency. Let me show you the consistency. See? You see that? You see how it's running? Wait till I put that on the pasta. Craziness. All right, let's see where we're at. There we go. Hold on. Let me make sure. There we go. There we go. There we go, Shayla. I was about to say something is missing. What did I do? All right. Let me get back to focus. All right, so move that off to the side. I'm just putting some of this stuff up so that way I have space for adding the sauce to the pasta. So who's cooking this Thanksgiving? Is anyone gonna be hosting? Who's hosting? I should say. That's probably a better question. Let's see. I love when it comes together. Yes, when it comes together, that's when you know. That's when you know. So look, when I made this earlier this week, I think it was yesterday. I can't remember. I get my days all confused. And I was showing it to my husband, and he goes, "What is this?" Because he's not a fan of like me saying what it's pretending to be, but like actually, what is this? So I told him it's pasta, and he said, "Is this supposed to be macaroni and cheese?" I said, "No, it's pasta." And so he tasted, and he's like, "It's good," which to him that's equivalent to me saying, "Oh my gosh," because he's very like neutral. And so then I said, "Yeah, it's supposed to be like plant-based vegan mac and cheese." So he tells me, "You know what you should call it? You should call it macaroni with butternut squash sauce in parentheses can also be comparable to macaroni with cheese." I was like, who's going to read all of that? That's way too much, babe. What? But I get what he's saying. It kind of goes back to our point earlier about, trying to say that something is something. Like, I know this doesn't taste like cheese. Can't make cheese. But it's pretty close. All right, our sauce is done. And so let's combine them, okay? So what I'm going to do something fun here. I got this little mini cast iron, okay? So what I would normally do, y'all gonna laugh at me. Looking for a bowl. So what I would normally do, when I'm making this, like I make this on Thanksgiving, I'm gonna bake it in the sauce, and then put toppings on it. So what I do, get my pasta. Remember our big bowl of pasta? I could see all of it wasn't combined very well. So let me stir it. I can see like the difference in the color at the bottom to the top. So let me just make sure with this. So I want to make sure everybody's well incorporated. That we're gonna turn down the heat on this. The longer you keep that on, the more it'll thicken. All right. So I'm gonna take some of my noodles, put them in a separate bowl. Okay. Like this. Okay. All right. A little more. Boom. Okay. Okay. Then I'm gonna take my sauce. Look at this sauce. Look, 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 look. Watch this. It reminds me of Kraft macaroni and cheese, but like a grown-up version. So I'm gonna take my sauce. I'm gonna pour it right over the top. Don't worry, I'm gonna bring it close to y'all so you can see what I'm doing, okay? Don't worry, don't worry. So look, this is what we're doing, okay? And I'm just gonna, come on, I know. Wait, let me get it close to y'all so y'all can hear it. Can you hear this? I see you, Sharon. Listen, listen, listen. Can y'all hear that? That little, come on. Sharon, I'm cracking up. So then what I would do for presentation, right, is I'd spoon this right into my cast iron pan. And you can see it thickens up pretty good. So I always leave some of the sauce on reserve. I don't put my noodles into the sauce. I put some of the sauce into the noodles. So that way I can control how much sauce goes there. So if you're somebody who likes it really, really creamy, you can add more sauce. If you like it more like a casserole where it feels tight and baked, put it in the oven. All right? So I think that's pretty good right there. Okay? And then I'm gonna take a little more. Cause I like mine saucy. I'm gonna pour it like this. Now I'm not gonna bake it. One, because I didn't turn the oven on. But two, because I don't think it's necessary, honestly. I think it actually takes away when I bake it. Okay? So we could leave it right here, just like that. We could stop right there, not do nothing else. And it will be perfectly fine. Look, let me show you. Let me make sure I get that in there. In my opinion, it looks good, just like this. Like, to some people, this is actually, if you already had this butternut squash roasted, it would be perfect just like this. Only Shayla can make food sound good. Aw, Sharon, you're so sweet. Oh my gosh, that looks so good. It sounds so good. Thanks, Queen Alchemy. Team Bake. All right, Dwayne, so you're Team Bake. Who's Team Bake? I love it. Who's Team Bake and who's Team Stovetop? I'm like in between. I'm gonna play both sides. It depends. It depends. Yes, I love saucy too. Cookbook. Hey, Erica, what's up, girl? Thanks for coming on. Yeah, I'm saucy. I'm saucy.
Mom.
So let me tell you what I do. Yes, baby.
Erica is from the movie.
Okay.
The one that isn't like Dracula.
Now y'all tell me if you want me to show you. But the topping I make is actually toasted breadcrumbs. It's super simple. It's not very hard. It wouldn't take long. But I already have some made. And it's in the recipe. But literally, all I do is I take Panko breadcrumbs, a little bit of olive oil in the pan, and then I saute it with smoked paprika, nutritional yeast, garlic powder. And I end up with this. It's like a toasted breadcrumb, like this. Okay? And so what I do, because the reason why I like it baked back in the day is I do like that crust that you get when you bake it. So to simulate that with this type of macaroni and no cheese, I take my breadcrumbs. Wait, let me see what that says. Saucy with breadcrumbs is good, yeah. 54 Truth, aka 5'4" adult mac and cheese is like that. Saucy with Panko breadcrumbs is good. Yes, exactly. So I'm gonna take my breadcrumbs, I'll sprinkle them on top. So that way I get the crust that I missed from traditional mac and cheese, but I still get the sauciness, right? I'm so excited about the recipe. Queen Alchemy. Oh, I'm so glad. Both, Arlena. All right, Ma. See, we're on the same page. And this breadcrumb, like I said, it's super. I mean, literally, you just take the breadcrumb. Like, look at this. It's a beautiful color from the smoked paprika. I like a crumbly topping, so I like bake. Exactly. So for this, I think instead of baking it, you can get the crumbled topping with the breadcrumb. See, look. You see that? How does that look to y'all? Now, because I'm me, because I'm me, and I love color, okay, I do already have some chopped parsley, and I just go ahead and just do this right here. Just like that. Just like that. One more. Alright. Oh man. And this is what I get. This is what you get. What y'all think? I need honesty. For real. You're not gonna hurt my feelings. You're not gonna hurt my feelings, I promise. That's what it looks like. Can y'all see that? Oh, yep, exactly. The panko and a little toasted. Exactly. Sorry, girl. I'm also team bake. Ralph, you're hilarious. I love my husband. You're so ridiculous, Ralph. Sharon, look, I'm gonna have to make you some of this for sure. But look at that. What y'all think? Tell me the truth. Jalapeno mac. Who said that? Dwayne. Am I saying your name right? Dwayne. You done took us to another level. Because I already have the sauce for Thanksgiving. Because what I'm going to do, so here's the thing. Because I didn't put all my noodles in this. This is important, too, for just cooking in general. I didn't put all my noodles in here, right? So what that means is when I package this, I'm going to put these in little deli containers. I'll show you. You can use deli containers. You can use glass containers, whichever is your preference. I label it, put the time, the date, fill it up, close it, freezer. So you don't have to do this the day of. You don't have to do it the day before. Freezer, and the day before, put it in the fridge to defrost. When you want to make macaroni and uncheese on the weekday, you already got your sauce made. And to Dwayne's point, you chop. So how would you do it, Dwayne? I'm thinking I would saute the jalapenos and then add them to the sauce. Or even sprinkle them on top. Is that what you were thinking? Like sprinkle them on top with the panko breadcrumbs? Tell me what you were thinking, Dwayne. Totally her. I was replying to. Oh, Wendy, you came up with the idea. Okay, not good for you, Dwayne, to say it wasn't me. Wendy, that's a good idea. Tell me, Wendy, what were you thinking when you made jalapeno? Thanks, Dwayne. Flavors will be nice and set. Exactly. And actually, the flavors will taste even better when you put it in the fridge. It's kind of like a stew. The longer they stay together, the more they kind of melt into each other. I was thinking of slices of jalapenos. Okay, I like that. Slices, that nice round slices. But I can see even if you chop it up and you put it with the breadcrumbs and got it a little toasty, that could be something. I feel like people will be more open to that during the Super Bowl season. Or even like, let's say instead of using this for macaroni, you can use this as a dip. You could use this as a dip. Doesn't this kind of remind you of those cheese dips? And you could put the jalapenos on the inside. Is it just me? Am I the only one thinking that, or am I going too far? Hope, question, Flor de la Jara, olive oil, comes in 3 flavors, arbequina, corna cabra, or pico. Which one did the company send you? So they sent me 2. I'm going to show you. So they sent me corna cabra, and they sent me arbequina, okay? And I want to say, let me see. It said it on here. I can't remember which one is which. So one is better for higher heat, and one is better for like a salad, more like a something that you just want to toss with your salad, or like a quick dressing or something like that where you're not cooking it. But I like it. Pretty packaging. It's a really beautiful couple. One is a physician. The other, her husband, he actually comes from a family who owns orchards, olive orchards. Am I saying that right? In Spain. It's like a generational company. Yeah, you get my ice cream after I finish, okay, babe? Actually,
Can I call down?
Come and get it. You can get ice cream. And so yeah. Anyways, but good question. Or use it for vegan rotel, Erica. All right, Chef Erica. I'm saying all right, Chef Erica. Me and you gotta do a live together one day. Nice garnish, or minced in the sauce. Yes, I agree, Erica. I don't like jalapeno. I get it, Queen Aquaman. There's some things I don't like either. Here, it's not that way, baby. Let me just get this for her, cause she gonna mess this up. Here, baby. Here, Lily.
1 second.
Okay, it's gonna be on the table. Hold on, guys. Let me get my daughter situated. Don't leave. All right, it's on the table for you, Mama. I'm gonna turn this off. So, the spoon done fell in. Oh my goodness, y'all didn't tell me. That's hot. All right, I think we should taste. I think I should taste it, right? I would like the lobster mac with the stuff you use for replacing the lobster. It comes in a can, not jackfruit. With the stuff you use for replacing the lobster. I wonder what that is. What's the stuff you use for replacing them? I've heard of lobster mushrooms. They have lobster mushrooms. I don't know what else you put in a can. Maybe hemp hearts? Is it hemp hearts that you're thinking? That's the best thing about cooking versus baking. So many combos. Exactly. I agree, Dwayne. I make 16 bean soup all the time. And each time I do something different. Exactly. Like, that's why when people ask me questions about my recipes, I can give you a general guideline, but I always do something a little bit different depending on what ingredients I have. Hearts of palm, Deborah. Yep, it's hearts of palm. Thank you, Deborah. Hearts of palm. Yep. Nice garnish. Let me look back. Yes, meal prep is my language at Naloy. Exactly. That's what makes it easy. And some people, I know back in the day, I used to think meal prep. I'm not doing that. But if I wasn't meal prepping, I was just buying fast food. And, it was different when I was in my 20s. I mean, I'm only in my 30s, my late 30s. But trying to live different from my daughter, different from my husband, different from myself. So, I feel like it's a worthy sacrifice to meal prep and know I'm eating something, 1, that's good for me, 2, that tastes good, and 3, it don't cost an arm and a leg to buy it. Because nowadays, I got it 10 years ago, but nowadays, you go to a fast food restaurant, it costs just as much money as you go into the sit-down restaurant, and it's not as good. So that's just me. All right, so yes, thank you. All right, perfect. All right, I'm gonna take a try. I'm gonna take a little, all right, ooh. Wait, before I dive in, hold on. Sorry, guys, I know y'all gonna be done sick of me. Listen. Shh. Can you hear it? Can y'all hear it? Listen. I hear it. I don't know if you can hear that gooiness. All right, I'm gonna take a bite. One little bite, because I already ate dinner, so I can't be eating all this. I'm about to put this aside.
What are you eating, Mom?
I'm eating my pasta, baby. You want to taste?
No thanks.
Okay. I think texture is so very important when you're cooking. And what I'm thinking right now, yummy, Erica, it is the texture from the breadcrumbs, like that bite, the creaminess of the butternut squash, and then like the butternut squash, it has like this subtle sweetness, but then the flavor of how we flavored the sauce, you get like all this, it's very complex. It doesn't taste like, it does not taste like macaroni and cheese. It won't. If I gave this to somebody and said, "Here you go, your macaroni and cheese," they would be like, "What's wrong with this? I ain't never had no cheese like this." It doesn't taste like macaroni and cheese, but it tastes amazing. It tastes so good. And even as I take a bite, I don't know how to describe it. I feel, I don't want to use extra words. Like, I just feel good. Like, I don't know how to describe it. If this was macaroni and cheese, like traditional, I would take a bite and go, "Oh man, that's so good." Keep going. This, I can appreciate how good it is. And I'm like, you know what though? It's good. but I'm kind of full, so I'm gonna have to wait till tomorrow to eat it. Does that make sense? And I think that's the beauty of eating plant-based. I say specifically plant-based and not vegan, because vegan just means that it's no dairy, or excuse me, there's no animal involved. Oreos are vegan. You see what I'm saying? Plant-based means that you're seeking foods that are fruits, vegetables, legumes, beans. You know what I mean? And this, to know this came from butternut squash. You know, pasta water, coconut milk, soy milk, things that we understand. Yes, we use regular pasta. You could change the type of pasta, so it's not like everything is like 100% the healthiest of healthy, but you get a little bit of that comfort and it's still good for you. I think that's the sweet spot. I think that's the sweet spot. Yes, plant-based does that, right, Sharon? It really does that. You don't have to describe it. I'm actually feeling you on this, sis. Queen Alchemy, you got my back. It's the head drop for me. Because I don't know how to describe it. Ever since I started cooking more, that first bite is everything. And I just think about all the times I go somewhere and I eat something and I'm so disappointed. Because it's like, man, I drove here, I spent all this money, I waited, and then I tasted it like, man, I should have just went home and made what I was going to make. You know what I mean? Is it just me? And it's not even like I'm trying to say I'm like the most amazing cook ever and, you know, I'm better than all the restaurants. It's just that sometimes the food doesn't hit the spot the way that you want it to. I also think that part of it is the more you put that energy and effort into the cooking and you're seeing what's happening and you're putting that love and that positive energy into it, that comes out on the other side. I really believe that. So when I'm cooking in here and I'm like, man, I don't feel like cooking, it tastes a lot different than when I'm like this, like, oh, what's up, guys? You know, like the joy is in food. Not trying to over spiritualize it, make it more than what it is, but we are what we eat, you know, and I think that's a part of it. I don't know, that's me. That's me. I just went to a vegan restaurant this past weekend and I was so disappointed. I feel you, girl.
Why?
I feel you. Alicia says, why? I think sweet potato is the ingredient in some box vegan mixes. I have not tried them though. Yeah, I've heard of people doing sweet potato. I can see that working. Even carrots. I've seen people do that. I'm sure because of the color and the body. So true. I love my own food. Wendy, yeah. That's it. Especially, and I don't even think we have to be these amazing cooks, but it's something about knowing what happened to the food and what we did with it. It just gives you this peace about it. And the other thing is the more you eat fast food, and not just, I'm not trying to give fast food a bad rap. Even going to a restaurant a lot of times, because sometimes they could be worse. They add all the butter, all the salt, you know, all the oil, because they want it to taste so good that you come back. But it's something about like, if you go to one place over and over again, you start to get used to that taste and think that's what it's supposed to be, versus when you cook it yourself and you're like, oh, wait, that's kind of good. You know what I mean? So true. I love my own food. Yeah. And Anna Martinez, I was thinking nutritional yeast. Oh, did someone ask a question? I love adding nutritional yeast. Yes. Yes. That has been the truth for me lately as well. Cooking at home is top tier. It is. I think the part that scares people is the time, and I get it. There are definitely times, y'all. I'm not trying to say I'm perfect. She will come over here in a heartbeat and be like, well, what about the time we went to McDonald's and you got me French fries? I mean, you know how kids are. They're going to tell the truth. So I'm not trying to sit up here in front. Like, I never get any food outside of my home, outside of my fridge. I definitely do. But more times than not, I'm cooking at home or I'm taking something out the freezer that I already bought or already made that was frozen. My husband gets to me about that, though, because a lot of times I'll forget stuff is in the freezer and I'm cooking too much. So I got to get better about not wasting. I know y'all don't like the chickpea pasta, but I'm going to make mine with chickpea pasta. Adnaloy, listen, I'm not trying to say there's anything wrong with chickpea pasta. I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to hate on chickpea pasta. You go ahead and get your chickpea pasta if you want to. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I wish I liked it because it has so much protein, but I haven't found a brand that I like yet. So I'm going to keep trying. Yes, cookbook agreed. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Late night Taco Bell, Dwayne. Listen, I remember being in residency for when I was in training for being a doctor. On the way back home, there's this road in Greensboro, Wendover Avenue, for anybody who lives in Greensboro, and it's like you pass by. It's like a row of fast food places: McDonald's, a Steak Shack, and the last one before my apartment was Taco Bell. And at the time, I didn't even like tacos like that. But seeing, isn't it a purple sign or a purple and white? Just seeing the colors, and I was thinking, man, I feel like cooking at home. There's nothing there. I'm tired. It was something. It was so easy. Just pull into the drive-through, get whatever I wanted, and go on from there. And like the first bite is always good. I used to tell someone that about like I used to have a really big problem with orange soda. The first swig always tastes amazing, always. But then the rest of it is like, man, oh, I probably shouldn't have did this. You know what I mean? Like the first bite of that sandwich or of that fry or whatever, it's like, oh, it's so good. And then the rest of the bites is kind of like you're just trying to finish it. Is it? You know what I mean? So I feel you. Late night, late night. The other reason that happens late at night, that's when our inhibitions are down. Like we have less control. We're tired. You know, we've already made all these decisions during the day. So that's why I try not to eat after 8 because once it's after 8 and she's in the bed, and let's say my husband goes to bed early and the kitchen starts trying to talk to me, the refrigerator starts trying to sing songs to me. Yeah, girl, it talks to me at nighttime. I know, you ain't know that. It does. The pantry starts making music. And I'm like, what you talking about? I gotta go in there, like, who's in here talking to me? And it's usually the cookies talking to me.
Mom, you're just making it.
I'm not making it up. It starts talking to me. It starts saying, Shayla, come get some of us. I'm telling you, Lily, it'll happen when you get older, baby. Orange high C for me, grow as I go. Listen, everybody has their thing. And I think a lot of the times it has to do with what we ate when we were kids. Like a lot of it for me, I've asked myself why. So my thing was oatmeal cream pies. I just had this emotional attachment to them because whenever my mom would have extra change, I would go to the gas station and get me an oatmeal cream pie. It's like one of the first things I bought with my money as a snack. And like I don't eat them anymore as an adult, but whenever I pass by them in the gas station or a grocery store, there's always a moment where I'm like, oh. And it's not that the taste was so amazing, but I remember being a child and life being like free and oh yeah, I remember that. And all that's wrapped up in the visual of seeing the oatmeal cream pie. And I'm always like, oh man, I wonder. But I know, I already know after the first bite, I'll be like, what am I doing? And you look on the back and you're like, what am I eating? So I think that's interesting to figure out what things we, a lot of times it's just, for me, it's emotional. Everybody has a different reason. Queen Alchemy, sis, I would love to do a collab. Send me, look, get on the email list, and when I'm gonna send the email out in a couple of days, reply to the email, Queen Alchemy, and we can see what we can do. We are literally neighbors. Oh, that's crazy. Do you live in Greensboro? LOL, LOL. Y'all laughing at me? Fast food makes my heart beat really fast these days. I can't eat it. Maybe too much salt. Probably. I mean, you know, yeah, a lot of times it's just so much salt and fat that they add to it. Wendover, I have historically made a brown rice mac and cheese. Okay, Dwayne, what? Tell me more. I'm trying to understand that. What does that mean? Tell me more, Dwayne. That's when I ate a lot. That's when it's a lot of food commercials. Yeah, Sharon, those food commercials, they'll get you. They make it look so tempting. Let's see. That was the start. Grow as I grow. That was the star crunch for me, LOL. But as an adult, yuck, never again. Ain't it something as a kid, the things that we loved and like we thought, I remember thinking, man, when I grow up, my whole house is going to be filled with oatmeal cream pies and Pop-Tarts. That was the other thing. You couldn't tell me nothing. I knew I was going to have a pantry full of oatmeal cream pies, Pop-Tarts, and Frosted Flake cereal. I knew that at the bottom of my soul. I knew it. So I feel you, girls. I go. It's like it's you're a kid. You just think differently. Oh, Queen Alchemy, you're a hype one. Oh yeah, for sure. We gotta figure out something. Plant-based with Jen. Hey Jen, I'm glad you made it. We just finished our mac and cheese, Jen. We just finished. We're up here just talking about just talking and catching up a little bit because I feel like usually when I finish cooking, oh. My husband just texted my friends and I saw what he said. I need to. Okay, we're probably gonna leave the next 5 minutes because my husband's hungry. He want to come in the kitchen. I was looking for you on TikTok. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I do my live on YouTube, Jen. That's my bad. Not the Frosted Flakes. Yes, I'm telling you, Frosted Flakes. It is a recipe from a Canadian called Drina Burton, made with cashews and Brazil nuts. It's called Mac OGs. Interesting. Okay, I'm gonna have to go back to that and look into that. Yeah.
Mom,
Now for those, in a bit, baby. So for those, let me say for those who aren't on the email list, Go ahead. If you click on the link in the description, okay, it has some plant-based recipes, but it'll immediately attach you to my email list. So that way, when I send out my next email, you get to know when the next live is and what we do from there. I'm also thinking about, I'll let y'all know, I'm thinking about starting a community where we could do more of things like this, share grocery lists, kind of give encouragement to each other, all along like just building plant-based. Is that something that, I don't know, am I tripping? Is that not something that y'all would think is a good time investment? Someone said, Canadians are the best. Just have to add. Yeah, that's my husband. So y'all see Ralph Nettie 147. Say hi to him. That's hubby. He's upstairs. He was the one answering all the questions. Love you, babe. Grow as I grow. Like on a school, they allow you to go live on there for Cook With Me. Yeah, something like a school, something like that. So, but it wouldn't just be cooking lives. It'd be, I would share different things. I'm still figuring out exactly what it would look like, but I feel like a place where, people can have a community where we can help each other out. It's not all just me going blah, 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 but also just having resources to help with recipes for different health conditions, my grocery shopping list, some behind the scenes stuff that you guys get to see first before I do it on YouTube. That's my main channel, if you haven't figured that out. Erica, yes! All right.
Mom, she's Erica.
Grow as I go.
Her
Right,
name is Erica
right.
too. Mom.
I hear you, baby. Have you tried?
No, you're not looking.
I see, babe. Oh, yeah, her name. Yeah, from the movie. Pop-Tarts were my fave. The cinnamon ones with the glass and milk. I love that childhood. It's different. But you know what? I didn't like the cinnamon one. I'm going to be honest. Strawberry. That was the one with the frosting. Not the plain one with the frosting, okay? Grocery list, please. Yes, Erica. Look, I'm working on it. I'm going to probably put out a waiting list so that people who are interested, they can get the link once I put it out. So make sure you get on the email list so that way you'll be the first to know. Loving your videos, making plant recipe meals so easy and fast. Do you do plant-based cookies? Anna Martinez. Hey girl, thanks for watching my videos. Plant-based cookies? No, not yet. I'm not really a baker. I have a couple things that I make. I do butternut squash bread. Actually, I do, I didn't show it here, but this is actually sweet potato cornbread. So, I actually made the recipe for that. That should be in it's on my channel. I'll add it to the description here so people can see that later. So that's another good Thanksgiving side. But I don't really bake. I'm not a big baker. But I usually use Google, but I wouldn't recommend anything because I'm not a baker. So that's something I still got to get better at. I'm more good with savory things. It's probably good that I'm not a good baker because sweets are my kryptonite. Yeah, things don't taste like they used to, Sharon. I agree. Adnaloy, I will join the group. Okay, Adnaloy, are you on the email list? Get on the email list, okay? Click that link in my description for the recipe so you can get on the email list, all right? Thank you for sharing. I will try the recipe. Awesome. What is your name on TikTok? I'm Chef Shayla MD. I'm Chef Shayla MD everywhere. TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and then I have a Facebook, but it's Shayla Nettie. It's my full name on Facebook. I was watching how the drumsticks are made last night and found out it's not even ice cream. It's oil-based junk. Huh? Drumsticks? Oh, you're talking about the ice cream. Ugh, I bet. Oof. Hey, you are so awesome. Thank you. Oh, is it Opus? Thank you. Hey, I see volunteer coordinator. Hello, thanks for jumping in. Shayla makes to die for no baked non-cheesecake. Yes, I do a cheesecake, but it's not baked. It's a no bake cheesecake. I guess that's technically a baked good, but it's not baked. But it is one of more of a bakery things. Thanks, Erica, for putting in my TikTok. I made a great vegan cheesecake out of chickpeas. Ooh, okay, Queen Alchemy. Let's see. All right, strawberry was mine too, but nowadays it gives headaches, right? They have cheapened out on quality. Yeah, I think things are different, like Sharon said, and like you said, girls, I go. Look, this was fun, y'all. I hope y'all have a good Thanksgiving. I really appreciate y'all coming to join me for this past hour and a half. My husband is probably turning into a skeleton right now because he hasn't ate any food. And look, I offered before I started this live, okay? I said, you want to eat now or later? He said, I'll eat later. How long is it going to be? Now, I started talking a little bit too much. But I like doing this part after where we can just vibe and ask questions. That's actually really fun to me. Most cooks are not good bakers. Years of watching Top Chef has taught me that. Yeah, I'm definitely one of those people. Yes, baby, that's fine. How often are you going to live to cook with you, and how do we know what you will be cooking? So So if you join, I'm telling you, join my email list. In the description, there's a link for plant-based recipes. If you join if you use any of the free things that I put on my YouTube or any of my sites, it'll give me your email, and then I put you on my list, and I send out an email usually a few days before I go live. I tend to go live every other week, so twice a month for right now. Maybe more eventually, but for right now, twice a month. If I do the community, it'll be probably a little bit more. But most of that will be just us sharing resources and creating a place where people can ask questions and just be inspired and encouraged, motivated, all those things, and not having to lean just on ourselves. I really appreciate you sharing this recipe. Can't wait to make. Listen, okay, here's the deal. For those that are here, if you're not on the email list, get on the email list. Go to the description. I feel like a broken record. I'm sorry, guys. But I got to repeat. Make sure you go to that link. You'll get on my email list. I'm going to send out an email in the next couple of days. I'll send out probably two. One in a couple of days and one when I do my... It'll be the read of this video, but it'll be edited with the DJI that I have here. Is this still recording? I think it's still recording. And so what was I trying to say? Yeah, that'll get you on the email list. And what I'll do is I'll let you know in advance when I'm going to go live. So I usually tell my email list first, so that way they know when I'm going live, and you'll get the link to the premiere. So it'll have the description, and in the description it'll have the recipe and what ingredients you need. And then after that, I'll send it to my social. So I put it on my YouTube community posts. I'll put it on Instagram, things like that. So the email list gets everything first. So join that, okay? I'm loving you, Chef Shay. I'm vegan, Chef Joanne. Hi, Chef Joanne. Thanks for joining. I appreciate the love. Oh, I'm looking for the cheesecake. Used to be my favorite before I went plant-based. Look, I'll talk about it a little bit. I can't give all the secrets, though. That's my VIP. That's my specialty. I'm going to be real. That no-bake cheesecake sounds good. Sage Soul Journey. It's been fun. It has been fun. Thank you for being here. This was great. Thank you. Thank you, Edna Loy. What did you... I cooked, Joanne. I cooked a vegan mac. Plant-based mac, no cheese. It's got Panko breadcrumbs. Super creamy. The recipe's in the description. The ingredients are too. All right, y'all. About your setup and how you edit your lives. Yeah, send me when I send out the replay. Jen, I think you're on the email list, Jen. Just reply to the email and we can talk. We can talk offline. Thank y'all for being here. I gotta go because my husband, you're having a good day. Are you vegan? I'm plant-based. I am having a good day. I hope you're having a good day too. I'm sorry, my husband's hungry and he gonna be so sad. I made all this food for these people and he ain't eating nothing yet. So I have to go. But I am plant-based. I'm not vegan. So I do it for my health. I don't do any animal products. And that's actually been within the past year that I've transitioned completely to 100% plant-based. Definitely have my struggles because my family is not, so I still cook meat for them or animal products for them. I'm a chef. I'm also a doctor, Chef Joanne, and that's kind of what inspired me. I'll have to do a YouTube video that gives more details. I have one up that's called My Story in my channel, but maybe I'll do an update. All right, good night, everybody. Good night, y'all. I'll talk to y'all soon. Thanks for being here. Bye.
Bye.